Did you know a city killer slipped past Earth with 1 day's warning? Not in a movie. In 2019, 100 meters of rock moving at 15 kilometers per second missed us by a fifth of the distance to the Moon. We found it as it was already inbound. The astronomer who got the call called it what it was, a city killer that came out of nowhere. Here is the uncomfortable part. We are not bad at this because the problem is unsolvable. We are bad at this because the sky is enormous and our telescopes look at a slice of it. Congress told NASA to map 90% of near-Earth objects 140 meters or larger by 2020. It is 2024. We are at 43%. And the rocks that scare planetary defense folks the most. The 20 to 100-meter range, big enough to flatten a city. Less than 1% of those are catalogued. Every time one of these passes close, it is not a triumph of detection. It is a coin flip that came up heads. Take asteroid 2019, okay, roughly 100 meters across, discovered by the Brazilian Sonar survey less than 24 hours before its closest approach to Earth on July 25, 2019. It passed 73,000 kilometers away. Inside the orbit of some communications satellites, Australian astronomer Alan Duffy described it bluntly. A city killer. Out of nowhere. If 2019 OK had been a few hours earlier in its orbit, a mid-sized city would have ceased to exist, and the first warning anyone got would have been a flash on the horizon. And 2019 OK is not the outlier. It is the pattern. Rewind to February 15, 2013. A 20-meter rock enters the atmosphere over Chelyabinsk, Russia. It explodes at altitude with the energy of roughly 500 kilotons of TNT, about 30 times the Hiroshima bomb. Over 1,500 people are injured, mostly by glass blown out of windows by the shockwave. Nobody saw it coming. Not one telescope. Why? Because it came at us from the daytime sky, out of the sun's glare. Ground-based optical telescopes cannot see through the sun. It is a permanent blind spot. Now go back further. 2002 MN, 70 meters wide, passed within 120 kilometers of Earth, closer than the Moon. Discovered 3 days after closest approach. 2023 NT1, about 60 meters, Tunguska class, passed within 100 kilometers in July of 2023. Discovered 2 days after. It also came from the direction of the sun. There is exactly one happy story in this catalog. In 2008, a small asteroid called 2008 TC3 became the first object ever detected before it hit Earth. The warning time was about 19 hours. It exploded harmlessly over Sudan. 19 hours. Hours, not years. That is the best we have ever done. And the reason hours, not years, matters is simple. In September 2022, NASA's DART mission slammed a refrigerator-sized spacecraft into an asteroid called Dimorphos and successfully shifted its orbit. Kinetic deflection works. We proved it. But deflection requires years of warning, because you are not blowing the asteroid up. You are nudging it. And the nudge has to compound over an enormous distance. A 24-hour notice gives you exactly one option. And it is not deflection. It is evacuation, assuming you even know where the thing is going to hit. The Tunguska event of June 30th, 1908 flattened roughly 150 square kilometers of Siberian forest. The object, 50 to 60 meters, never detected, no crater, landed in empty taiga. Had it arrived 4 hours later, the Earth would have rotated St. Petersburg under it. A capital city, gone, in 1908, with no explanation anyone of the era could have given. That is the gap we still live in. The fix is real, and it is funded. NEO Surveyor, NASA's infrared space telescope, is built specifically to look sunward. The blind spot that hid Chelyabinsk and 2023 NT1, and is scheduled to launch in 2027. Until then, the planetary defense plan for a Sunside city killer is, honestly, luck. We have had a lot of it. We are overdue to stop relying on it.